Tonight on Grady Newsource.
I'm Grady Newsource. Coming up, what we've learned about the deaths of these two Athens men who vanished 3 months ago.
Here in Georgia, you have a higher chance than anyone else in the country to experience identity theft. Find out why tonight.
And the heartbeat bill making its way through the Georgia legislature. What an expert on maternal and infant health says it could mean for women across our state.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening and welcome to Grady Newsource. I'm Wyatt Nail.
I'm Vera Hallam. Our top story tonight. Police have one person in custody and are searching for a second person after two missing Athens men were found dead in a Gwinnett County storage unit. Police say Joshua Lee Jackson and Derek Davion Ruff were both shot to death. Grady Newsource reporter Danny Terzer is live at the spot where the men were last seen alive.
I'm at the corner of Habersham Drive, right off South Millage Avenue. The men got into a Ford Expedition and were never seen again. The two Athens men, Joshua Jackson and Derek Ruff, vanished 3 months ago on December 18, 2018. Investigators found their bodies this weekend.
Sunday, we coordinated a search using the assistance of Alpha K9 team search and rescue dogs, specifically their cadaver dogs. It was a 100-acre area we were searching. That search led to a storage unit where a dog hit on a storage unit. Search warrants were obtained, and the bodies of Derek Ruff and Josh Jackson were found.
Police believe the men were shot and killed inside the storage unit shortly after their disappearance. In January, Joshua Jackson's father talked to me about the wait for answers.
It's hard to put into words. You know, most of the time you see stuff like this and you say, well, you know, you just see it on the news and you never think that this would happen to you.
I spoke to Gerald Jackson this morning. He was too distraught to go on camera. But in that January interview, he feared the worst.
It's just on anybody that, you know, they would lose a child.
I called the extra space storage facility where the two men were found dead. The person who answered the phone would not comment. What began as a missing persons case is now a homicide investigation.
We do know that the motive was part gang activity.
When I reached out to the Athens-Clarke County Police today, I was told they did not want to comment on the gang aspect of the case at this time. Police have released photos of the two men they believe concealed the bodies of the two dead men. They are Leslie Chappell Green and Robert Maurice Carlisle. Police say they may face additional charges. Police also say more arrests may be made.
Georgia is the worst state in the nation when it comes to identity theft. The Federal Trade Commission released its rankings for all 50 states. Grady Newsource reporter Veronica Obey talked to a local victim of identity theft who is part of this troubling trend.
That's right, Georgia managed to top the list as the #1 state to face identity theft. I spoke with a former UGA student who experienced this firsthand.
They asked me, have I filed the year before, and I didn't.
That's when UGA alum Trevera Harper realized she was a victim of identity theft. She was trying to file taxes for the first time.
They asked me, you know, more information, and they investigated and everything, and they told me that someone else had filed for me.
Harper isn't alone. The Federal Trade Commission says out of every 100,000 Georgia residents, 229 have experienced identity theft. Across the nation, credit card fraud and employment or tax-related fraud are the most common forms of identity theft. Unfortunately, Harper knows that firsthand.
I kind of felt a little scared because I didn't know where to go from there. Now, every year that I go and file, they have to send me a PIN number that I have to put in.
After that bad experience, Harper has been careful about releasing personal information.
I'm more cautious about putting my social out there as far as on the internet, when I'm filling out applications and things like that over the phone. My ID and any personal information, I try to keep it secure.
For more information on ways to avoid identity theft, you can visit the Federal Trade Commission's website. Back to you guys.
The Al Huda Islamic Center off Millage Avenue is hosting a unity event this Saturday at 2 p.m. It's in response to the terror attack on a mosque in New Zealand. UGA's Muslim community gathered on campus Monday night for a candlelight vigil at the Tate Plaza. The vigil was from 7 to 8 p.m. and hosted by the university's Muslim Student Association. Al-Huda encourages anyone who wishes to honor the victims to come show their support on Saturday.
The Georgia Senate will soon vote on Georgia's so-called heartbeat bill. The bill would outlaw abortion 6 weeks after conception. Grady Newsource reporter Donovan Harris is live in the newsroom to tell us this bill could have far-reaching effects.
Why, that's right. I spoke with both supporters and opponents of House Bill 481, or what some may call the Life Act.
A severe OBGYN shortage. Roughly about half of counties in Georgia don't have access to an OBGYN within the county.
Dr. Andrew Schwarzendruber is a professor in the College of Public Health at the University of Georgia.
The bill would, I think, exasperate our lack of medical providers. We
justify it for its humanity because we are good.
Georgia House Representative Ed Setzler of Ackworth sponsored Georgia House Bill 481. If it's passed, it will make it illegal for doctors to perform abortions after 6 weeks. Opponents of this bill, such as Renita Shannon of Decatur, says this House Bill 481 takes away a woman's right to choose.
You are picking and choosing who would be able to exercise their reproductive rights.
Shannon says if this bill passes, this could have some serious consequences for women in Georgia.
Folks who are pushing this are maintaining that they are pro-life, and that's why they want to do it, but this will result in a death sentence for many women in Georgia.
But Zimi Fleck, the executive director of the pro-life group Georgia Right to Life, says that all children should have a right to live.
We should not have any group of children, any segment of our population who does not have at least the chance to be born.
Now, the Georgia Senate Science and Technology Committee passed the bill 3-2 to pass the committee through the committee. We will continue to follow this bill on air and online at GradyNewsource.com. Live from the newsroom, Donovan Harris.
Georgia Senior Senator Johnny Isakson took a stand today against President Trump's comments about John McCain. The president told reporters he was never a fan of the late senator. On Georgia Public Broadcasting's Political Rewind, Isaac, a Republican, said the president was disrespectful.
The president last weekend breached it again and again stated his dislike for John McCain and lack of respect, I would say is the right word, for his service. And I just don't think that's appropriate. It's deplorable what he said. That's what I called it from the floor of the Senate 7 months ago. It will be deplorable 7 months from now.
You can watch the full interview with Senator Isakson on Political Rewind at gpbnews.org.
Tonight marks the third and final supermoon of the year. Sarah Hammond is live outside our studio to explain when and where you can see this so-called worm moon.
Now, this is the third of the back-to-back supermoons, and this one marks the beginning of spring. Now, you might be wondering what a worm moon is. Well, National Geographic says full moons that occur in March get this name because it marks the beginning of warmer weather, which brings out more worms. Now, spring technically doesn't start until 5:58 tonight, and the superworm equinox moon will be completely full tonight at 9:43. So make sure you look up tonight because this supermoon is the last of its kind that will coincide with the spring equinox until 2030. I'll be back in about 15 minutes with your full forecast.
Still to come, we meet a student who's juggling a full course load, a busy social life, and a job, all while living with cerebral palsy.
I want people to know that it's not really a disability, it's a term sex. It's really not. I mean, I have plenty of abilities.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Is the seat supposed to be forward-facing or rear-facing? Did they move to a booster seat too soon? It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Don't think you know. Know you know.
Don't let I'm a single mother, and I was the main one working, so I never thought that I could go back to school, you know? My sister, my mother, everybody wanted to help me with my kids. I could not have gotten my diploma without my family.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90-mile-per-hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Tonight, we want you to meet a UGA student living with the most common motor disability seen in children. March is Cerebral Palsy Month, and although Brandon Sudge navigates campus in a wheelchair, it doesn't slow him down.
Brandon Sudge loves sports.
Whether it be watching or playing video games or talking to friends about sports.
He also has cerebral palsy, a disability that affects a person's motor function. It varies in severity on a spectrum from mild to severe.
I'm kind of towards the middle of it.
He uses a wheelchair to help him get around, but says for him, that's not the hardest part of living with CP.
I would say for me, the hardest part is the speech impediment. Sometimes it's worse than others. Like it goes through stages, I guess.
A team at the University of Georgia, led by Dr. Christopher Modleski, is in the beginning stages of a clinical trial that studies children with CP.
So we are examining the effect of a mild vibration treatment on the muscle properties, balance, and physical activity of children with a mild form of cerebral palsy.
So I'm standing on the vibration platform that participants of the study will also stand on. It's emitting a barely perceptible vibration that eventually the hope is will have local effects on the muscle and central effects on the central nervous system that will improve balance.
And we're hoping that if the muscle gets better and the balance improves, this can also lead to an improvement in or increase in their participation in physical activity.
Cerebral palsy affects 1 in 323 children. Brandon Sudge wants you to know it doesn't have to be limiting.
I want people to know that it's not really a disability, as the term says. It's really not. I mean, I have plenty of abilities.
If you have a child with CP, we have information on our website, GradyNewsource.com, about getting involved with Dr. Modleski's clinical trial.
A local water facility is now using solar panel technology to cut costs. I spoke with Athens-Clarke County officials today about the switch to this new source of renewable energy. Big changes have come to the Cedar Creek Water Treatment Facility, the smallest of 3 water treatment plants in Athens.
Athens-Clarke County has installed a solar array at our Cedar Creek Water Reclamation Facility. And the array costs nearly $1 million to put in. We expect it will pay for itself within 15 to 17 years. That will save money for the water and sewer customers.
This new solar array is the first of its kind in Athens-Clarke County, and it includes over 1,800 solar panels that track with the sun as it moves across the sky. These panels will be able to provide over 1 million kilowatt hours of power per year. The plant unveiled the solar panels last month. Lofton and others want to clarify where the power is going.
We are not generating power to run our facility. Instead, what we are doing is we are creating the solar energy output and selling it to Georgia Power through their Renewable Energy Development Initiative.
Workers are excited about the prospects of using renewable energy in Athens.
Once the initial cost is absorbed, it's not so much a profit-making entity, but it will save money in the long run for the county. It's also just a good idea. It makes sense when you can do this, you got the room, and that's what you need to do. I mean, there's no downside here.
The solar array is part of Mayor Gertz's formal commitment to clean energy in Athens-Clarke County.
I'm Luke Gamble with your Northeast Georgia sports. Spring is in the air and so is football. I visited UGA's Pro Day today where former players worked out in front of 32 NFL teams.
They want to do well on this day. They train hard for this day. There's a lot of pressure on them for this day. It's important to them, so we want to give them the best opportunity to be successful.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
I love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
And now, sports.
I'm Luke Gamble, and this is your Northeast Georgia Sports. The 5th-ranked Georgia baseball team was back on the diamond last night with an out-of-conference matchup against Georgia State. The Bulldogs defeated the Panthers 11-1, giving them their 10th straight win. The 10-win streak marks the longest in head coach Scott Strickland's era. The Bulldogs improved to 19-2 on the season, heading into a big conference matchup against 10th-ranked LSU this weekend. The Tigers are currently on a 4-game win streak and are coming off a sweep against Kentucky. The University of Georgia football team was well represented today, with 21 former players completing a variety of workouts in front of NFL scouts, coaches, and general managers. Former UGA players showed off their skills today in front of NFL scouts and coaches from all 32 teams. The players hope to be drafted next month.
I'm just excited for them because this is such a, I can still remember the day in my life when you had this day. It meant so much to you, and so many dreams and aspirations are realized on this day.
9 former Bulldogs were invited to perform at the NFL Combine earlier this month, and some left disappointed. Today was a chance for those players to redeem themselves. DeAndre Baker didn't need to worry about improving his results, but he wanted to test himself in front of NFL scouts.
You know, it's kind of exciting because the draft coming up April 25th, so that's the biggest day of my life, what I've been waiting on, so I'm looking forward to that.
Last year, Georgia had 3 players drafted in the first round in April, and this year, the Bulldogs could see 2 more players drafted in the first round. DeAndre Baker is expected to be a first-round draft pick, and Riley Ridley could also slip up there as well. The big dream for all of these players is to make an NFL roster, and for Baker, he knows his big day isn't far away.
I just know my name will be called on the first day. I know that for sure.
The NFL draft will take place April 25th to the 27th in Nashville, Tennessee. The University of Georgia women's swimming and diving teams are hitting the pool in Austin, Texas this afternoon to compete at the NCAA Championships. The Bulldogs will have 10 swimmers and 2 divers competing for a chance to win Georgia's 8th national championship. The final round of the championships will conclude on Saturday. I'm Luke Gamble, and that's your Northeast Georgia Sports.
Happy first day of spring, everyone. I'm Sarah Hammond, and coming up, I'll give you a look at your 5-day forecast. And it really is looking like spring out there with the sun shining all week. And by this weekend, we'll finally get into the low 70s.
Hi, I'm Peter. And there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Attention travelers. Next Tuesday, a major power outage will cause complete chaos throughout the city. Food, water, and phone service will be in short supply. There will likely be panic citywide. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
And now, the weather.
Happy first day of spring, everyone. I'm Sarah Hammond here with your weather. And coming up, I will have your 5-day forecast and those high pollen counts you can expect to see in your area. Now, about 6 p.m. tonight, we get to about 59 degrees, and by midnight, we drop down to about 45. And tomorrow morning, it'll be about 43 degrees, and by 3 p.m., we jump up to about 61, mostly sunny all day. The high tomorrow is 62, mostly sunny, only a 20% chance of showers tomorrow. And if you've noticed your itchy, watery eyes, it's probably because of the high pollen count in our area. Now, to avoid that high pollen count allergies that you're noticing, you can get some nasal spray. Make sure you're changing your clothes every time you're coming back into your house, and keep your windows closed. Now, coming up for the rest of the week, the warm temperatures keep rising as we go throughout, and the sun will stay out all week. And by the time we get into Saturday and Sunday, we will be in the low 70s. I'm Sarah Hammond, and that was your weather.
Ready to meet your perfect match? How you can find the employer of your dreams. Coming up.
Hello.
Hi. I'm from Blue Hood Stone Barns. We brought a meal for you, and I'm here to serve it to you.
Okay, great. Come in.
Zucchini carbonara, made from zucchini that was harvested earlier this morning.
Again?
Hey, Dan Barber.
You have room for a little bit more? Come on in.
Brochettes with sausage. So when we made that zucchini carbonara, you know, they're the end pieces of the zucchini, and they're the cores that we cut away. Not to mention zucchini flower. Usually those get thrown out. We use them to create an entire second dish. Does that, oh.
Again?
I'm here to bring you your third course. It's the vines from your zucchini.
We'll have a little zucchini stem pasta. A different experience of zucchini. When we start to think differently about our food, we can get a lot more out of it.
This is delicious.
What do you think we can make out of this? 40% of food in America is never eaten. Cook it, store it, share it. Visit SaveTheFood.com.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Laughing too hard at one of your colleagues' jokes at the office party? He's not even funny. Warning sign, those drinks are probably going to your head. Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod.
I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Companies like Amazon, Novellus, and Perfect Game headlined a summer job and internship fair at UGA today. One representative told me that they're drawn to the professionalism of our student body. The University of Georgia Career Center sponsors the summer job and internship fair every March.
The employers love coming because they have a really good high-quality candidate coming through the door that they're able to speak with, and so the employers are really pleased with the students that come and talk to them.
They know what they're talking about. They know what they're actually looking for. They're not just coming up and say, hey, what are you hiring for? And it's, hey, I took this, I'm doing this, I graduate next year. So I think that's pretty awesome.
Amazon was one of the 119 employers in attendance at the fair. Julia Stevenson started with Amazon 5 years ago and moved up to a corporate position. She hopes students find the same success and growth in the company like she did.
I actually started in a warehouse facility part-time. I was looking for a job. I couldn't find any job when I first graduated. I did a sortation center for about 4 to 5 months, and then I started in HR. So I'm actually a living proof of moving up in a company.
Students from a variety of majors attended the fair. Real estate major Patrick Wilkins has interviews scheduled for next week and walked away with more confidence in his networking abilities.
It definitely helps you build your confidence and just interacting with employers to kind of get used to it and kind of get out of your bubble a little bit and just kind of practicing what you need to say and sound professional.
The career fair helps students find both full-time and temporary employment. Students can visit the Career Center for resources like mock interviews and career counseling.
That's our newscast. Have a good night. For Grady Newsource, I'm Wyatt Nail.
I'm Vera Hallam. We'll see you next week.
Grady Newsource is a student production of the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Is your family in need of more quality time together?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Nature is best enjoyed together. So bring the whole family to discover all the bonding and stress-reducing benefits parks and forests have to offer. Visit discovertheforest.org and trade in phone time for family time.
Birds, squirrels, chipmunks, grass, worms, bugs, trees, rocks, and other objects in nature cannot talk. If you'd like to have a conversation while visiting nature, you will need to bring humans along. We strongly recommend starting with your family.